All right, in this lesson, we're going to be going over the efficiency of the different sorting algorithms. And so, in some ways, you could think of which one is best as which is like the fastest of them. Okay, and so why this sort of matters is, computers have become pretty fast at this point, and so they can handle, algorithms even if they're written in a way that's kind of slow. But that's not true of cell phones. All right, so if you think about a cell phone, if you had an app and people were clicking on different parts of your app, and it took a long time for it to load, people would go nuts, right? It wouldn't be an effective app, all right? So the speed ends up mattering for sure. Also think of Google. Google, it became famous because you can search and find stuff really fast. And actually, I'm blown away by this, right? Like if you go to Google and search for kitten or something, like it comes back like incredibly fast. It searches the entire internet in under a second. Like that to me is mind blowing how fast it can be. So, anyways, that's what we're going to talk about today with the sorting algorithms. All right, and so the way we're going to test it is we're actually going to time the algorithms, right? And we're going to try to figure out which one runs the fastest to sort 10,000 items, then 20,000, then 30, then 40, then 50,000, then 60,000. Okay, so in order to do this, what you're going to need is a couple of things from the website. Okay, so I got all the directions on here. They're also in the Schoology folder, but you're going to need a couple things. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a place to record the data that you get. So the easiest way is if you print this note sheet, but if you don't have access to a printer, just use a piece of notebook paper and you can draw your own graph and table. Because basically what you're going to be doing, there's the directions by the way if you want to see them too. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a table and you're going to be timing the three different sorts: selection, insertion, merge, for this many thousands of items. I left a couple spots if you want to add your own. But basically you're going to be timing it for this number of items, and then you're going to draw the graph of what they look like here. Okay, and there's kind of some alternate ways to do it, right? Like you can draw it in notebook paper, or I'll print out a copy of this. Or if you want to draw your graph right in Desmos, I'm going to actually do it in there because Desmos makes things a lot prettier. So you could also do that and then, turn in a picture of it or something like that. But anyways, so you'll need that sheet, okay? And then the other thing you'll need in today's folder is the code, right? You won't have to make any changes to it, but you will have to, just have it in Eclipse and run it inside of Eclipse. All right, and it'll be kind of interesting because everyone's computer is a little bit different. So when you run the code, you might get a little bit different times. But yeah, so you're going to be running this, the starter code from here. So if you click on here, it'll take you to a Google Drive folder. And you can, I know some kids just like open them and then, copy and paste it and make a class called ArrayUtil and copy and paste the code in. All right. Make sure you put it in the same package. Okay, so it should look like I made just a timing package here and put them all in there. So you can copy the code in one at a time, or the route that I actually like to do is, I think it's a little bit faster, is if you like right click on here. Whoops, not that. How the heck do I do this again? Oh, you gotta hold one, hit shift, hold them all, and then hit download. So once I got them all selected, then I right click and click download. And it'll make this little zip file. And then, all right, I'll demo it here. So I'm going to open the zip file. I'm going to unzip it. So I do extract all, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now that I've downloaded them all, now I can just copy them, copy those, make my package in Eclipse. So I do file, new package. And then once I've got them, I can just paste them right in there, right? And then it should work really slick. You might have to change the package name or whatever, but that's a pretty nice way, is to get them in here and then just copy and paste them straight into the Eclipse package. So anyways, however you want to get them in there, get them in there. Okay, and then this is kind of the fun part, is you're going to time them. So there's one for each sorting method. So I'm going to start with selection, and I'm going to run it. The max value you can mess around with. I probably wouldn't change it too much. That's just the highest number that can be generated in the array, highest value. And then this is how many items. So I want to start with 10,000, because that's the first one on my chart. Okay, so I'm going to go to my chart, and I'm basically walking you through these directions, by the way. The other ones are available just if you want. But basically, I need to fill in for 10,000 items, how long does it take selection sort. So I'm just going to go in here and hit the go button. Okay, and you can kind of see how long it takes. And if you have a lot of stuff running on your computer, you might want to kill it because that's going to affect the time. So I kind of run it a few times to get a sense of what's going on. The times are jumping a little bit, but I'm going to say a pretty good average. Wow, now they're jumping all over. I think that's because I got stuff running in the background. But I'm going to say that's about, I don't know, 28 hundredths of a second. So now I'm going to go back over here and just record that. So it was 28 hundredths of a second. Okay, and now to get the next piece of data, I'm just going to change it to 20,000 items and time that again. So I'm going to go back into Eclipse, change this to 20,000, save it, and run. And again, I run it a few times just to get a sense of it. And I'm just going to do something in the ballpark. It doesn't have to be super accurate. I'm just running it a bunch and kind of getting the sense of it. So I'm going to call that about a tenth of a second. So I can see that that jumped a lot already. So now I'm already up to a tenth of a second. Quite a bit faster than before. Or quite a bit slower, sorry. Now 30,000. I'm not changing the max value, I'm just changing the num items. I'm going to say this is about 0.2. It's kind of jumping a lot. That's surprising. But I'm going to call it about 0.22, I think. So I'm just going to go back here and record it. Okay, and so I'm just going to I'm going to pause the video, but basically you do this and fill in. Don't use the same ones as me. Use your computer and see what happens, because it might be a little bit different. So pause the video and finish your results. I'm going to do the same, and then you can resume. All right, and so now that I've finished selection sort, now I want to make a graph. And so you can kind of pick the scale based on what your times are. But now I'm going to make the graph and kind of see what it looks like. All right, and I am going to do it in Desmos. So basically, if you want to do it in Desmos like me, basically you just got to start type table, and it'll pop right like this. And then I'm just going to do these. Oh, it even doesn't. That's slick. And then I'm just going to populate my values, copy them in from my data. So I had, whatever. Populate them all and see what the graph looks like. So you can pause the video and try that. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, and so I entered them all in, and it doesn't show up very good, but that's because my y is never even over 1, and my x goes all the way out to 60. So I think what I got to do is just kind of like zoom it around a little bit. And then I think I want to zoom the y. Yeah, see if I can do this. But basically you got to zoom it, and you want to make it so that the y isn't very big and the x goes all the way out to 60. So I'm going to pause the video and see if I can figure out how to do that. So I think I'm just going to do it manually here. I'm going to set my x's from about -5 to about -70. That's fine. But for the y, I don't want to see a lot. So I'm just going to go from like -0.1 to about 1 even. All right, and so I can start to see. It's a little bit hard to see here, but what you should get, and I guess my computer's pretty fast because this looks almost linear, but what you'll actually get for the efficiency of this is it's what's called n squared. And what that means is that as this goes up, it's not a linear increase in time. It's actually, the time is, like if you double the number of elements, it's actually 4 times as much time. And the reason is you end up squaring it. Like it's like double, like if it's triple the time, this will actually should be about 9 times as much, because you would take the 1 to 3 ratio and square it, so it'd be 1 to 9. right? So it's not a linear pattern. It ends up being this n squared pattern. Okay, and that kind of comes from, if you think about how selection sort works, selection sort loops twice. So you loop through the first time, or you loop to find the smallest element, and then you put it in the first spot. But then you take the next spot and loop through again and find the smallest element for that spot. So it's actually like a loop inside a loop, like nested loops. So that's where the n squared from, because each loop is like n, and then you do n times n to get n squared. So what we actually end up having here is an n squared pattern. All right, so what you're going to do next is do the same thing for insertion and merge sort, and then we want to kind of compare their graphs and see which one ends up being the best. All right, so all you have to do is go back in here and load up the next one. So load up insertion, start with 10,000 and run it and do the same thing. All right, so copy them down into your table for insertion and merge sort. Again, there's a few entries here if you want to do your own, and then plot them. So if you're using Desmos, you would just do table again, and you can get another table of points and graph them right on the same coordinate plane to kind of see what happens. Okay, so you'll end up with 3 different sets of points, and you can, connect them or whatever if you want to draw them by hand. So you have 3 different graphs, and then you want to compare which one's the best. So I'm going to have you pause the video and try all that, and then you can unpause this and compare your results with what I've got. All right, so we're going to see which one ends up being the fastest. Okay, so you can see my table here. Kind of check your values against mine. Again, they might be different depending on the speed of their computer you're using. But what I found was insertion sort was just a little bit worse than selection sort, and kind of the more elements you got, the more pronounced that difference became. Okay, graphically it looked like this actually. So insertion's in blue there, green is selection. So insertion kind of got a little bit higher with time. Kind of interesting with insertion is they were really inconsistent. So when I was running this, if I go back to insertion for 60,000 here, I got really inconsistent times. And I think the reason for that is insertion depends a lot on if you get lucky. Like when you're inserting them into the sorted part, if it finds its home right away, and a lot of the elements find their home right away, it's going to run fast, right? Versus sometimes it takes them a long time to find their spot, and then the time isn't as longer. So much more so than the other ones, I got inconsistent times with insertion, but I tried to kind of do the average, and these were roughly the averages. Okay, and then merge sort clearly is the winner, right? If you look, it's way faster, and graphically you can start to see that as the number of elements gets bigger, this is more and more significant, the fact that merge sort is faster. Okay, so when we talk about Google being famous, the reason is it runs super efficient algorithms. Okay, so kind of just a few charts and graphs I found on the internet, besides the one I made, is there's different types. And so the graphs we were getting for selection and insertion are actually called n squared, because they're like loops inside of loops. And so they're basically n squared. So as n gets bigger, the amount of time it takes is very significant. Okay, and it looks like the merge sort is almost linear, right down here, linear increase. So if you like double the number of elements, the time would double. But it's not quite. It's actually n log n, and we can talk a little bit more about why that is. But basically, it's this one, which is quite a bit bigger than n squared, especially as you have a lot of elements. Okay, and so we're not going to go into super detail of this, but here's a bunch of different sorting algorithms. You can kind of see where ours are on here. Merge sort is pretty fast, and if you look at our other ones, insertion sort and selection sort, they're pretty slow. And they're comparing the different cases here. So they're not the greatest ones. They're kind of simpler to understand, which is I think why they're on the AP test. But you can see out of ours, merge sort ends up being the quickest.